Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are going to be building a home inspired by the New World, Ciudad Enamorada, that comes with the Lovestruck expansion pack. Now, I do not have this pack currently because it is the real world and we're waiting for payday. So I can't exactly, buy everything I see or want right away. We got to be smart about it. So instead, I decided right before this pack came out, because I saw so many images like this one that is up on the screen, I thought it would be really cool to build something inspired by these images. And these are of a Mexico City Vecindad, I think is how you pronounce it, Vecindad. It is basically loosely translated, it means like a neighborhood. So I saw it as almost like an apartment complex, and inside there's this courtyard and it is open. There's windows facing from inside these apartments into the courtyard. There's lots of flower boxes on the outside of the windows, lots of plants in the hallways, these lovely flags hanging in between like the balconies stretched across. In some images you'll also see like laundry lines hung up, extending across, I guess for everybody to share, but I don't have those available unless I get CC, which I'm not really into loading up with CC. So I decided, well, I know that I have these flags because they came with, I think, the update a while back where we got like the pergola and the fancy Spanish inspired like table and chair set. So I knew they were in my game somewhere and I could use them. I also saw that they are available in the debug live edit menu in the new pack. So also very inspired by those. That is why I decided this would be the perfect build to get started now. And then after I get the new pack, I will plan on revisiting this build so that I can basically substitute out items that I've already used for the items in the new pack. So you'll be seeing this kind of like part one, if you will, and then we will have a part two where I revisit it with the new pack once I finally get it. You'll also see that in the front there's kind of like two storefronts I added. One side off to the left is the restaurant side, and off to the right is going to be like a thrift store type setting. Now obviously they're not fully functional. Unfortunately you can't have a multi-use lot. Like you can have it as a generic lot or you can have it as a residential rental, but unfortunately you really can't have it operating as a restaurant and a thrift store and rental units. It just doesn't work that way. So when I came here to playtest, I had my family just come here as a generic lot, and then they hired someone for the restaurant portion, and then they got some food, and you're still able to walk around in the thrift store and like try on looks or create a new look just like you would when you go to the thrift store in Copperdale. But obviously there's no register, you don't buy anything, there's no bubble tea because I didn't put a bubble tea in there. It's just a normal thrift store, so we have to use our imagination. And here you'll see I'm starting on these flags. So I had to make walls in between the balconies on each opposing side, and then I used tool mod. Once I finally figured out what size I wanted them to be, I sized them up ever so slightly so I could just fit 3 flags on each wall piece, and then I lined them up very, very carefully. It took me a very long time, but I did it. It was a painstaking process to figure this out. I cut out most of it, believe it or not, and then I just lined everything up, deleted the walls, and just let them hang there. Now obviously they're not perfect because they're not completely straight hanging across. There is a little bit of a rise and a dip, and they're connected kind of in the middle, but I still thought that it looked really nice and it got the point across. And then after I did all this and I lined everything up, I actually ended up getting rid of like every other row of these because it just looked like too many flags. It was a little overwhelming. I also went through and changed a bunch of these swatches because I thought them all being the same color was kind of boring. So each little row has the same swatches, but they're all different, by row. I hope that makes sense. And then we got started on the exterior paint and just getting some windows in. I thought that these for rent, like kind of slatted daylight windows that just let in the air and the light off to that side where the staircase is, it was perfect for this space. Also the for rent pavers that you see me laying down here that have like grass coming in between, I thought those looked really nice, and they gave the feel of like an open air courtyard where everybody can hang out and plant plants or just play hopscotch if you want to do that, because I did place a hopscotch eventually, and also some benches and some planters, all kinds of fun stuff. I put as much stuff as I could in that courtyard without making it feel too cramped. And then upstairs in the upstairs hallway, there's also some marbles for the kids to play. And in this unit down here on the bottom, there ends up being 2 family units. They are 2-story units that have 2 bedrooms and I think 3 bathrooms, either 2 or 3 bathrooms, depending on which unit. So this unit you see me working on here is the first family unit. You'll see the primary bedroom and then the child's room. There's also 2 bathrooms upstairs. And now here I'm working in the hallway, kind of jumping around a little bit. I apologize, but I wanted to make sure I got the stairs perfect because I kind of wanted them to be on top of each other like they were an actual stairway, so I had to play around with that. But I did eventually figure it out, and then I shrunk the stairway kind of hallway a little bit because it was too much. And then I had to use tool mod. I used this archway from Jungle Adventure, sized it down a little bit with tool mod, but then I had to size it up again a tiny bit because there was some clipping with the actual cutout of the wall where the arch fits over it, and it looked kind of funny. It was also poking through up above, and that was just no good. So here we are now. We're working on the other family unit, which is on the opposing side here. So I think that these 2 families are very, very friendly with each other. Maybe their kids are good friends. They play here a lot together. They go to school together, all that good stuff. I thought it would be fun to play in this unit so that, your child will have another child to play with that lives in the same unit. And then I was just trying to map out the floor plan because this was pretty difficult, actually, working with this very odd shape. But in the primary bedroom, they do end up having a nice little outside balcony. It is unfinished here, of course, but we will get to that. And then I just used the base game doors that we got right before Horse Ranch. I thought that they fit nicely in here. So there's 1 bathroom upstairs in that family unit. And then up here on the roof, we're just using lots of platforms, lots of half walls. And I pretty much just make everything the same height over on the sides and in the front. Then in the middle here, we have another cutout. And what I ended up doing after I added the floor, because I realized that it was kind of backwards, didn't have floor where I wanted it, and it did have floor where I did not want it, so that was fun. I decided this could be a nice big open air cutout in the ceiling, and then I could put a roof on top. So I added this lovely hipped roof, and I added some glass panel on top and the trim, and then I deleted the roof piece underneath, or the ceiling piece underneath, so that the light shines through, but there's a little bit of a cover for the courtyard space so nobody gets rained on. The weather doesn't affect them, so that's good. I also don't know if there's weather in the New World or if it's always sunny. I don't think I've seen any footage of any Game Changers that had played early access where it was raining. I know that they didn't have seasons, but the early access they had the day before the pack came out when people were able to have it with their other packs. I didn't see any footage of rain or any other kind of weather, so I'm not 100% sure if it will even rain in Ciudad and Emerada, or if it will rain only rarely. I'm not sure, so we'll find that out together, I guess. But here I am finishing up the outside paint color and also the roofing and the trim and the color on here. I also changed the half wall trim to be this greenish color. I thought it was really, really neat, and I liked the difference between the bright orange terracotta tile on the roof and then the green trim. So I pretty much went with that theme all throughout here. There's a lot of orange and also a lot of green trim, whether it be on the roof or on the building itself. And then also there's a balcony up here for this unit that is at the very top corner. So I thought everybody has some kind of a balcony, basically. It's either the courtyard balcony or their own personal balcony. I thought that was a nice touch. And then I also had to extend this roof piece here because I thought they might want a little bit of coverage. That ends up being a really, really, really cute little area over there where that balcony is. I put a lot of plants, a lot of chairs. You'll see only a little bit of it probably because I did cut out a lot of footage. This took me a couple days. I had a lot of footage to go through. I was really, really working hard, looking back and forth at all of my inspiration photos and stuff, going on Google and checking out other Vecindads and other places in Mexico City just to try to get the feel for it. I had to do quite a bit of research. I didn't want to misrepresent anything or, not get something right that someone would point out right away. So I did my best. I hope that you appreciate the effort. But there you'll just see I added a bunch of trim to the outside of the building and also to the courtyard platform trim. Had to add that in there to kind of blend it in. And here's a little bit of footage of the thrift store coming together. I pulled out a bunch of the stuff that came with high school years because obviously that's where we got the thrift store lot type. And then all just these like really decorative kind of table things with all the thrifty stuff on top. There's a couple clothing racks, and then I painted the walls this lovely blue tone, and I added a bunch of these stacked rugs from Laundry Day because I thought that looked like a very thrift store thing to have in this space. And also another rug here, which I think is base game. I just sized it down a little bit to fit in the corner. I thought that looked really, really nice. And a wall mural on the back here. It's like the Depop wall mural or whatever came with also high school years, but I thought that it matched the theme I was going for. Also outside we have the bubble tea sign, but I'm going to say that that's just the thrift store sign, not the bubble tea sign. And there's a little tent that came with the Debug Live Edit from high school years, and that I guess that's for like cheerleading or whatever, but I thought it looked really nice to have a little outdoor space here where you could still try on some clothes and have a little mirror and whatnot, and some signage for outside the restaurant and also outside the thrift store, and of course some planters that also came with high school years. And then I decided while I was working on the thrift store, work on the outside of the restaurant as well. So I added some awnings that came with For Rent, these tables that came with, I believe, Riviera Retreat. I think these were the ones from Riviera Retreat. They're much more like patio style, but I liked the red and the color in those, so I decided those would work nicely. And also some more wood floors that also came with For Rent, and the wallpaper from Cozy Bistro. And then in the kitchen area, it's just the white subway tile, which I believe is base game. Now over here, we're going to be back in this second family unit, and I did kind of do something interesting with the entryway. You will have seen I kind of gave it a little bump out because I did want that window right next to the door. That was very important to me. Here's another inspiration image too, also up here on the screen, because I wanted to show that sometimes there's like a clothesline in between the balconies on certain levels. And it's very like open air up at the top. Some apartments have like plants on either the railing or right up against the railing or right in front of their doors. I thought that was really, really pretty and really homey looking. It just looks very cozy. I really enjoy that. So that was the basic look I was going for. I just wanted to give you a little bit more of an insight as to what I was looking at, what inspired me to build this. So hopefully that clears it up for you just slightly. And then we'll also have one more inspiration image coming up in a little bit. But here I am just adding a bunch of plants to the outside. All the flower boxes and such. I think those are from Live Edit, so they were a little finicky. They didn't like snap to the grid or anything. They were just kind of floating there. So I did have to take some liberties with that. But we have a bunch of plants, whether they be from Bloomin' Rooms or Base Game or Jungle Adventure. I think I use some from the Greenhouse Haven possibly as well, and movie hangout stuff. For Rent. I think I used a bunch of, I threw everything I could in this. I threw whatever plants I possibly could, because obviously I don't have the Love Struck pack, which comes with a handful of really, really beautiful plants, and I cannot wait to get my hands on those. But I wanted to at least fill it up with the plants that I did have. Also, you'll see a bunch of planters going in, a bunch of these like terracotta pots, and I also throw in some square planters later on. Also this lovely assortment of plants from Werewolves, because I thought that they fit the bill really nicely. And some benches, one from Jungle Adventure, one from City Living. Here's that other inspiration photo I wanted to show you. It has all of the watermarks on it, so you will know where it came from. I just Googled Mexico City Vecindad once I figured out what that was called, and then I just went to town looking at all the images. Now here you'll see I was adding some different kind of roof trim. I thought that was a really nice one from For Rent, and it was just so pretty. It matched my color scheme, so I went with that. And then inside the courtyard, we're adding a bunch of these lanterns. I'm using alt placement and raising them up so they look like they are part of the fence. I thought it needed a little more lighting in here. And then back here on the upper level, there's a little patio. So on our way out to that space, I thought filling it up with some of these wall plants would be really nice, and also some palms. And then on the fences here, I added some other hanging ferns and hanging plants. I just thought they were so pretty. I think they are both from Jungle Adventure. Well, no, one's from Jungle Adventure, one's from Base Game. And now in this apartment, this is one of the very many like single level apartment. So there's no second floor to this. This is the only level. It has a very tiny little kitchen right here at the entryway. I used mostly Jungle Adventure and For Rent in this apartment. And then over here is the very tiny living room, just a 2-seater table, also from For Rent. And then I gave them a nice little sitting area for their TV. The couch is from Desert Luxe, and then the console table or coffee table is from Growing Together. I thought that they looked really, really cute together. I like the pink couch with the blue walls. I don't know why. It's just very colorful and very fun. And of course the rug from For Rent, because it fits this area very, very nicely. Base Game desk, Base Game computer, and also the desk chair are from Base Game. I thought right over here in this little corner nook would be a very good spot to have our office space. Of course, we have to add a trash can. You'll also see that off camera I added the cabinets. It just took me a very long time to figure out what I wanted to do, so cut out the boring parts. But there's some artwork on the wall. There's a lovely desk lamp. There's a hanging basket light from Eco Lifestyle over here above the table. And then I also used this Growing Together curtain on the kitchen window back here. I just sized it up a little bit with tool mod so that it fit that window a little nicer. And then there's a dish rack because that is very necessary. But I did not clutter these apartments up too much. I pretty much just left them basically furnished. I may have added like little things that I like to do, like the soap pump and the toilet paper roll and the plunger in the bathrooms, some plants, but I didn't overdo it. I didn't want them to feel super cluttered. I wanted anyone to be able to download this and do what they wanted with the apartment or move their family in, personalize it however they want to. So over here in that little hallway, you'll see there's a console table and the light and also the painting. The painting is from Get Famous, believe it or not. It has a lot of really, really pretty swatches though, so I decided to use it in there. Now we are back in the living room though, and I added a bookshelf, which is from Base Game. I don't really use this one very often. It's not my favorite, but in this area, I thought it was nice to have a wall-mounted bookshelf, and I just thought it looked pretty and cute and simple. Also a Base Game tapestry, which I think fits this world very nicely. So there's lots of Base Game items that you can use to decorate something that could be inspired by the new world, even if you don't have the new pack yet, which I really wanted to get across because I was like, there's definitely a way I can do this, and I don't want people to feel like they need to get the pack right away, because I was upset that I couldn't get the pack right away. But then I said, you know what, I'm going to make the most of it. We're not always as fortunate as others that can either get the game early or can just afford to buy it right away. You know, we have groceries to buy and bills to pay, childcare, all that fun stuff. So can't exactly go out and just buy on a whim. So I think it's very realistic to just do what we can while we can and save the fun stuff for later, because that can always wait. But here we are. We're just finishing up decorating the room. I did add a little ottoman from, I believe, High School Years, and also some Seasons curtains. And then over here in the bathroom, it's very blue. This whole apartment's pretty much just blue. It's just fun. It's nice and easy. Have a little shelf from Tiny Living. Also the toilet paper roll and the plunger, and a little candle on the back of the toilet. And I don't really use this shower tub combo very often in the blue and green swatch, so I thought it would be fun to use it in here. Just a very simple bathroom, nothing too crazy. I also have a robe and a little plant because we have to have a plant in here, and it was looking a little plain, but we have the wall-mounted soap from Snowy Escape, and then also the hand towel that came with Growing Together. I put that on the wall as well, and then I just rearranged them because they were kind of on the wrong side of the wall for me. It just didn't look right. And that is pretty much it for that apartment. Now over here back in the first family unit that I had made, this is going to be the purple apartment. That's what I'm going to call it because it's very purple on the bottom floor. But we use the same counters and the same upper head cabinets, and I think also the same appliances. But we have a lovely little L-shaped kitchen over here. It also ends up having an island because I thought this cutout here was perfect for an island, and I wanted to include another eating space. We also do have a dining room table, but I thought having a dining room table and also maybe like a little breakfast island space would be a nice option if this is for a family. So I add this couch from, I believe, Dream Home Decorator, and then a lovely little TV setup, Base Game console for underneath the TV, and then I use the book nook shelves to kind of make a little enclosed TV area here. I just snap a bunch of them together. And also this lovely shelf that came with For Rent. I thought it was really pretty, just in between the bookshelves there above the TV. And of course there's a game console and the rug from Book Nook and a matching armchair from Dream Home Decorator. And then over here, this is where the little office space is downstairs. We have the desk from high school years and of course base game computer and office chair. And then we have the island going in right over here because I don't know, it was screaming island to me. And also those chairs from Dream Home Decorator that are up at the island, obviously they just match perfectly. I also use this lovely hanging light from Tiny Living because it's so pretty and I really like the colors. It does actually light up the room quite nicely, but I think I add some overhead lighting here above the island as well, and that really brightens up the space. So I didn't add any other lights except for maybe one by the door. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might have added one more by the entryway. But over here we also have an entryway table with a mirror right above it and the light from Book Nook and the flower from Paranormal Stuff because I love that flower. A little trinket box that came with the Everyday Clutter Kit, some baskets that came with Laundry Day. They are by the door because if you're going to go do laundry maybe like upstairs and hang it up, because there is a fake clothesline upstairs you'll see in a little bit. But we have a lovely little entryway space with like coffee mug and a book from Book Nook Kit, some shoes, a little landing space basically when you come in, and another one of these rugs. That's a repeat from the other apartment as well. And then just a quick look at the kitchen and also the bathroom. It came together very quickly. I'm not going to show all the details because, like I said, this thing took me forever. But now we are going to work on the child's room and the primary bedroom. I love this pink tone and I don't really get to use it very often. It's like a salmon pink and I was just really inspired by that color, so I just went with it. Also, these curtains are from Movie Hangout Stuff in this white swatch. I just thought looked really, really pretty. And I also love this dresser for kids, like the cube organizer thing, because my kids actually used one of those primarily as their dresser for a long time. Now it's kind of just an organizational towel shelf, but I recognize that and it resonates with me. It hits me right in the heart. So we have all of our toys going in as well. A large Blarfy and the Dr. Bear kit and a little dollhouse, little butterfly thing on top of the dresser. And also this lovely rug from Growing Together. Well, I think it's base game, but it came right before Growing Together. I sized it up with Tool Mod. And then there's an owl decal on the wall from Werewolves. This lovely standing mirror with the lights all over it from Parenthood. We also have some posters going in, the little hang in there kitty poster because it's just super cute. And also a marble jar, which popped in there real fast. And some more posters, the light that came right before Growing Together, and the dream catcher, which I believe is also from Paranormal Stuff. And then we have some lovely dangly lights in the room because I thought that was pretty and whimsical, and some debug drawings that your child can get when they go to school, and just some other arts and craftsy things. I really wanted this to look youthful and fun and kind of cluttered. Now, that is a very stark difference to the primary bedroom. I pretty much left this very plain. There is a bed, the dresser are from For Rent, the plant is from For Rent, the mirror is from, I believe, Parenthood. And then just a couple other little clutter items to kind of personalize it, but really there wasn't much going on in there. I left it very, very plain because it just wasn't super interesting to me. I figured that if you want to download this, you can personalize it to your own being, but I really love decorating kids' rooms because to me that's just where you can really go wild with personality. For me, the parents' room is just the parents' room. So I don't know what that says about me, but anyway, we're working on the hallway. It's very green because green and purple, I like the combination together. So I thought that looked really nice. Just some plants, some lights, added some curtains from Base Game, that little console table that I always use, and then there's this runner rug from Seasons and another plant right here from For Rent. I love this Bird of Paradise plant. I finally got to use it in this hallway, and some more lights, and that's pretty much it. Now you'll see their bathroom, the parents' bathroom is completed. It was a lot of Growing Together, and I just thought it came out really cute, but it's pretty standard. Here again is a little overview. This is the purple apartment. They're downstairs. It's very nicely decorated, and I did not forget the smoke detector and the thermostat and the trash can. Up here is another look at the upstairs of this unit as well. Primary bedroom, kids bedroom. There are 2 bathrooms up here as well. It's very, very cute, and I like how it came together. I think it's perfectly suited for a nice family of 2 or 3. Over here we have the other family unit. So they have a cool little entryway with like a hanging coat and backpack and shoe situation. They have the parenthood board and an art supply area in the kitchen space. Instead of a dining table, they just have island dining space and a lovely little living room setup. I really enjoy this. This looks super cozy and fun. They also have like a block building table, which I also really enjoy. I think that makes a lot of sense. Up here we have the parents' primary bedroom and their lovely outdoor patio space, a very space themed bedroom, a little bathroom up here, and just a simple hallway. And then here we have another single sim unit. It's just, either a single sim or a couple, just very plainly decorated. It's mostly base game. There is a laptop on the dining table because I thought that would be nice to have. And then they have lots of plants out on their patio. Over here is the shared front patio. Over here is another single unit, so it's just a single story unit. It's very orange. It's very jungle adventure themed. I used a lot of wallpapers and decorations from there. All the bathroom stuff is from Jungle Adventure, and I thought that it just looked really, really cute and pretty and colorful, and it reminded me of all the colors I was seeing in the pack already. But that's just the basic overlook of that floor. Now the upper floor, in contrast, is completely undecorated. It just has placement furniture, so you can do whatever you want up there. And then here is the upper shared deck space, and I think it came together really cute. There's that fake clothesline, there's a hot tub, there's 2 tables for sitting and dining, there's a little grill from For Rent, and this is the rest of the outside. And then I also had to decorate this additional back patio space, but here you'll see my little family. They came to visit. They were just playing hopscotch and having a little dinner. It was a little bit of a late night dinner. I think it was like 9 o'clock at night. That's why the lights weren't on just yet. And there they are. It's very, very cute. It's very homey. There's some newspaper boxes out front. It really blends in nicely. This was in Newcrest, but I do plan on putting it in the New World, so stay tuned for that. And I really hope that you enjoyed this one. I know it was a little longer and it was kind of convoluted because I don't have the new pack, but I'm talking about the new pack a lot. I hope that you don't mind that I didn't show you all of the apartments being furnished. I just figured you probably wouldn't want to see that. It was very long. I was quite bored when I was doing it, so I figured cut all that out and let you guys download this and do what you want with it. So I hope you really enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tune in for part 2 when I get the pack on payday, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.